does not need to spin this. He'll be here Monday to lead people to believe yesterday at a press conference.
He wasn't trying to say this was just a Super Bowl party. He was trying to say...
Does the mayor know about Town Lakes?
He does now. He did not at the point. And then when
Did he know at the press conference yesterday about the operation?
No.
Did he know about Igor?
He was briefed last night in my preparation to come here. The Montgomery Advertiser has asked questions, so I responded to them. Tim Lennox has asked questions. I'm going to respond to him.
Everybody's on it now.
Everybody.
We're happy.
We had a meeting with the mayor, the city attorney, General Ron Sams with City Investigations, myself, and about 4 high-ranking law enforcement from MPD. We are trying to do everything we can to make sure this is straight up.
We're going to go to a break. Director Chris Murphy, who is straight up, former Secret Service agent. There are times, even in the capital city, where you're glad some new folks have come in. He's been on the job about a year, and this is a tough case.
Let me say one other thing before you do a break, if you don't mind. If you, Mark, or Kevin, or any of your listeners have evidence to the contrary of anything I'm saying, I want you to come to me. If you don't want to come to me, then go to Luther Strange. Go to General Ron Sams of the City Investigation. Go to Hugh McCall and Major Neil too at ABI. I welcome that. But you can't just do allegations. If you've got something, bring it forward to somebody.
Well, it is an open case. I think there's a lot more coming out. Guys, we're going to go to a break. This is the Capitol Buzz with...
And we'll be back. You know, I work on computers, and this guy does police work. I think I'm going to let him do the police work.
Does a good job. Just ask the gambling cartel. We'll be back.
I think that Mark needs to go down to the city council, get a PI. I've been thinking about becoming a private investigator myself. I think you need one of them licenses.
You're qualified for that. Yeah. But the director had you go to continue work on this, so callers, we apologize. That was all he was able to do today. But I think you got a lot of information there. I actually believe we're ahead of where the investigation is. We do have multiple sources on this one. That's a nice way of putting it. A lot of information coming to us. We will share what we can verify. Let's go to, I guess, T's up first. Hey, T.
Good morning.
Good morning.
In regards to the investigation, these little parties, the strip things, this and that, I mean, it's nothing new to the city of Montgomery. These things...
That's just amazing. I think you're right. That's the problem.
They've been going around. I mean, I've been out of school for 30 years, and they've been going around since back in the day.
You remember the movie Walking Tall? You remember who Buford Pusser was? That's actually a true story out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And there was all that gambling and prostitution, all that going on in Tennessee, right. And somebody was in on it and all that. Here's what I want to know, T. Here's a big question, and I tell you what, we don't know this yet. I want to know who was at these events, because my information is it's not just black folks, it's white folks, and it's prominent folks were going to these events. And it would have been a laundry list of real names had they ever made a bust. And it probably would have been a big stain on the Capitol City.
Unless there's video evidence, I mean, that would never be known. I mean,
but I'm sure parties go on and win lakes too, brother.
Right.
Okay, so
here's my question. If they were going on and win lakes and somebody looked the other way, I hope they shut those down. All right, bye, T. We'll talk to you. John's up next. Hey, John, you're next.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, John.
I appreciate you, Judge, for bringing these things out. But here's the bigger view, my view of the whole situation, is that Mr. Murphy and all those other guys are so used to looking the other way, especially when it happens in the black community. Now, you take like robbery. It's common, very common in the black community. For like my office has gotten broken in last year 6 times. After a while, it's just a common thing. You can't get anyone to come out because they place a low value on the community, and everybody's paying taxes. It discourages you from keeping your business in the community, any reputable business.
Why do you think they look the other way, John?
Well, because there's no outcry from the community, and the black community has always been an experimental area for the whites. And if it happened across, now my house located on
that's the only part I'll disagree with. But John, I will agree with you to this extent on 2 areas. I think when there is a rash of burglaries and robberies on the west side, people kind of say, well, that's standard operating procedure. But when there's a rash of burglaries in Vaughan Meadows, in Cloverdale, or Wind Lakes, or Town Lake, all of a sudden it rises to the level of priority. So that I will agree with. The second part, and this is the major question, these activities, these strip club, prostitution rings, whatever were going on, are going to have involved some very prominent local folks. And I think maybe that's why people didn't get as aggressive as they needed to. What do you think?
What I see is, number one, it's okay as long as it happened to them, but it's not okay if it happens to us. So when it begins to bleed over across the line, then everything becomes open. It's like a black person being prosecuted for murdering another black person. They very seldom get life sentence. They get about 10, 15 years, but if he murders a white person, it's completely different.
Right.
It's a whole different. It's hard to get.
So what do we do about it, John? What do we do about it?
Well, I think you're on the right line. You are on the right track. And I'm sorry that Kevin has to demean the whole situation, make it sound like it's something just happens. But for long,
it is something that happens all the time.
Well, listen. It depends on where it happens.
Okay, well, listen, John.
Let me ask you this. Would you agree to that?
Well, sure, but also, if we're going to be honest here, let's be totally intellectually honest here. One of the reasons why...
totally intellectual.
One of the reasons why... Okay, if we got to be honest here, one of the reasons why police there isn't such an urgency to get to the west side, because we don't, at least in the past, don't participate in the investigation. I ain't seen nothing. I've seen people who have had U-Haul trucks backed up to people's houses in the west side, moved everything they out, and nobody saw anything.
John, thanks for your call.
You got to help yourself.
Well, Kevin, but here's what's interesting about this Blackwell investigation. I've now brought out on the airwaves that Town Lake, a very prominent, mostly white neighborhood, it's kind of Wind Lakes-like, Kevin. Town Lake, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Judges live in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And Haardt Estates were both involved in the same thing, and it looks like the police work was about the same in both places. There's no race issue on this one, unless people are looking the other way because of a lot of the people involved.
Let me ask you a question, Mark, and I know this is going to seem like I'm taking you off your thing, but I'm really not.
I only have about 10 more minutes. Okay. I got to go today, so have fun.
But we never look into why these things happen in certain neighborhoods. With the economic disparity in certain neighborhoods, if we paid as much attention to why people are doing these kinds of things in certain neighborhoods, why there's a Wind Lakes, why there's a Town Lake, why there's a Greystone. I mean, if we paid attention to giving an equal opportunity to all these folks, we wouldn't have as much crime. So I'm just saying, why don't we...
I'm not following
that.
Tell me what you're saying.
Because economically...
I've got to go to court this morning.
Because we live in a city that you so graciously remind me every once in a while that Montgomery is probably 70% black. We own 5% of the businesses. Just 5%.
Kevin, I've done this with you so many times.
But that makes a difference.
You live on Federal Drive.
Yeah.
What is the race of your neighbors?
White and black. Actually white.
Just like me. I live in Wind Lakes. On one side, there's a white guy, and on the other side, there's a black guy, or a family.
Right, but what I am saying, if we gave the urgency...
Across the street's a white guy, next to him's a black guy.
But if we gave the urgency...
integrated, Kevin.
And we're not really talking about color for them. We're talking about economic disparity, and we're talking about how the world... All them black ones we talked about this morning... They are the consumers and not the producers of anything in the city of Montgomery.
Well, this is what's exciting about next week. Let's promote next week. Next week.
See, you don't want to go there, but it's easy to pick on the guy that's doing the crime.
I've exhausted myself arguing with this.
Yeah.
But you will have an unbridled 2 hours every day, and callers, you will be our balance. I'll have an unbridled 2 hours. You guys can call in. We'll have guests on both shows. But we'll give them airtime. See how we made them wait?
I know. But that does matter, though. But we brush that under the rug.
What matters is what we learned this morning from Director Murphy, that for several years in the capital city, there has been a ring of prostitution and stripping going on at businesses that are known, homes in the capital city, and the police, apparently, I learned...
Well, we already know that. Only you and Murphy didn't.
Well, you said you didn't know.
I know everything.
You just don't report it. Let's go to Wilson real quick. Hey, go to Wilson.
Well, it ain't in my neighborhood.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Go ahead.
I just want to say that I know the home inscription thing that's going on, but just like the home inscription thing, I think they got an entrepreneur spirit. It's been going on since the beginning of time.
You ever been, Wilson?
What about those illegal immigrants?
Wilson, did you ever go to those strip places?
Yes, every time I can. Yes.
How much did they charge you?
Well, it's different prices for the event, but I'm going to let you know.
All right, well, you have fun. I hope you get, next time they raid it, I hope you're there.
Well, that's free enterprise, man.
No, Kevin. And I want to say this before I do have to go to court this morning, so you'll have fun. I'll be listening. I'll monitor you. Don't worry.
I'll be sad.
I look forward to Monday, but I have to give the great goodbye to you. But I looked up the statute you want. There's a lot of crimes involved in what was going on. If you're paying a fee, whether it's a private club or a business, there were problems. So there's a whole anti-obscenity statute.
I got you.
All right.
So if you get butt naked and you don't charge, you're good.
No comment.
I'm just saying it. So in other words, it's the money.
You get raw and ready at John Henry Drums.
Now what we need to do is we need to keep everything in our neighborhood, everything, black. Black owned with black money.